Hello everyone, this is Rob Denton, and today we're going to be talking about Facebook Marketing 101. If you have joined us for the previous 4 weeks worth of videos, everything is probably starting to feel like it's coming together a little bit, but it's also probably feeling a little disconnected. Life gets in the way, a lot of things happen from week to week, so you're probably not able to kind of string the whole idea together yet, and that's okay, because today we're going to cover everything in depth. We're going to go really into the roots of this whole thing, and we're going to talk about how to strategically post on your personal Facebook page. I'm going to say that again, your personal Facebook page, in a manner to attract more business to yourself, to your real estate business. So I am going to go through a series of slides with you guys here. I normally do this live and in person, and hopefully we are going to set something up to do this live and in person. But Grant and myself, we thought that it would be a good idea to get this into your inbox via email as well. And we're going to be inviting everybody to come into the office. I believe it's someday in September. We haven't decided exactly what day yet, but we're going to invite everybody to come into the office to do this, a very similar type training, along with a Q&A. It's hard to have a Q&A right now because we're obviously not live, but I'm going to go through these slides one by one, guys. I'm going to do my best to explain everything. And the first thing I want to go over is what to expect. So I attend a lot of training sessions like this. I eat this type of stuff up. I love it. I love learning more about not only the real estate business, but marketing in general. So I always wonder, I always like when a presenter lets me know what to expect right away, because then it sets a good tone for the rest of the training. So we're going to do that right now. What to expect from our 90 minutes together today. So first of all, you're going to learn how and why to intentionally post on Facebook. Obviously, that's why we're all here. I'm going to teach you how, and the why is to generate more business. That's pretty obvious. So I'm going to give you my most profitable post ever. Guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to show you verbatim exactly the wording I used, and I'm going to give you the dollar figure that it made me. And I've used it a couple of times, and it's been successful every single time. So super excited about that. You guys are going to love it. So it's going to be fun. But we will get to that later on in this video. Pardon me if my eyes are going down, guys. I got some notes here jotted down, so I don't want you to think I'm all over the place getting screwy with you. So the next thing that we're going to, what to expect from me is we're going to talk about EdgeRank, what it is and how to take advantage of it. This is a very, very important part of the formula. EdgeRank is a word that's not used a lot. Another word that we can substitute for EdgeRank is algorithm. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Facebook algorithm specifically. And just a side note, guys, what we're going to talk about is Facebook specific, but this is transferable to all forms of social media. This works everywhere. So I don't want you to just think that there's one way to do things on Facebook and another way for Instagram and another way for Snapchat, because this is true across the board, and we're going to explain why it's true across the board in a later slide that we're going to go over here. But just trust me, this is all going to make sense, and you can implement this anywhere. I know my generation, I'm late 30s, let's say. My generation is still on Facebook. But odds are if you have a son or daughter who's 17 or 18 or 22 or 23, odds are they're not very active on Facebook. They're probably on Instagram and Snapchat. And that's okay. What we talk about here is going to be transferable 100%. So if you're going after that brand new home buyer, that 23 to 29 age demographic, you can utilize Facebook and it's definitely going to work, but you're also going to want to put in Snapchat and Instagram, because that's where that younger audience is going to be. So let's move on. I'm going to give you guys Unit 1 of the Facebook Marketing Mastermind curriculum. Double your friends list in 7 days. We're going to get to this a little bit later on in the video. I'll explain how all this works a little bit later, but that's going to be another give for you guys. You guys can expect to get Unit 1 of my Marketing Mastermind course. So next thing is Q&A afterwards, time permitting. Obviously, we can't do this until we go live at the Ruttenberg Realty office. So we can, please, guys, you're gonna gain so much more from all this by being in person. I'm a big fan of multiple types of media, and watching a webinar, watching a video like this, watching an informational or listening to an informational tape, that stuff's great. there's something to be said for that live one-on-one interaction. So everything that we talk about here, we're also going to talk about live at the Ruttenberg office along with the Q&A. So just to cover that. Now we're going to talk about all the fun stuff here. So first of all, I want to cover with you guys what Facebook is to the general public. We are no longer the general public when it comes to Facebook. We are now different. I want you to think of yourself as separated from the rest of the pack in the sense of you are now going to learn how to post intentionally. That's a big word. It's one of my favorite words. Everything that you post on Facebook from here on out, if you utilize the knowledge that you're going to learn here, is going to be intentional. I want you to think to yourself before any time you post something, why am I doing this? What am I looking to gain from my audience, from my friend list, from Facebook? What am I looking to get out of what I'm going to put in? Okay, so it's a little bit of a paradigm shift, but it's going to be beneficial, I promise you. So what is Facebook to the public, guys? Well, it's a social media site. It's not a place where people go to buy and sell things necessarily on your personal page. We know that there's Facebook Marketplace. We know that there's business pages. I'm talking about your personal Facebook page. Okay, it's a social media site. It's a place. This is somewhere where people go to stay connected with friends. You know, people you went to high school with, old coworkers, stuff like that. People want to feel that connection with people still. It's a place to make new friends. I have personally made a lot of friends on Facebook that I've either yet to meet in person, or the first time I meet them in person, it's like you already know them. You know, so there's already a rapport established there. That's a good thing. Let's face it, guys, it's a place to be nosy. A lot of people on there are just looking to get the dirt on everyone else. Human nature. You know, we constantly want to look at what the guy next to us is doing or the gal next to us is doing, and we always want to judge ourselves upon that. I'm not saying you guys, of course, nobody in this training session does that, of course, but a lot of the general public does. So it's important for us to realize that and to learn how our audience perceives the platform that we're now being intentional on. It's a place where people like to voice their opinion, and this is something that we're really going to learn how to utilize. We're going to let people voice their opinions, and we're going to use that need to be heard, not against them, but for ourselves. Okay, we're going to learn how to structure that. And again, it's a place to feel a connection with the world around them. So a lot of people, you ever see somebody on Facebook that posts all their business, good and bad? They let you know what they think about, you know, politics. They let you know what they feel about religion. They let you know what they feel about absolutely everything. This is their way of feeling connected to the world. We have to understand that. Again, I'm going to say this over and over again, guys. It's going to be a reoccurring theme that our Facebook presence is now intentional. So we have to recognize people like that, and we have to recognize that this is where people feel that connection. You know, and a lot of people are lacking that connection in their personal life, so they find it online. We're not going to necessarily use that to their detriment, but we're gonna use all the information that we know as a way to promote ourselves in a better manner, if that makes sense. So moving on. So the next slide is going to be very simple, but it's one of the most important, if not the most important. I want you guys to, when you're watching this video, I want you to say it out loud for me, please. What is the one thing that every business needs? When I do this live, guys, in front of people raise their hands and tell me everything but what I feel the answer is. So what is one thing that every business needs? People say every business needs profitability. That's true. It's not what I'm looking for, but it's true. People say every business needs customers. Also true. Not exactly what I'm looking for. What we're going to talk about here is the one thing that every business on earth needs, bar none, every business, is attention. Every business needs attention. If you do not have the spotlight on you in the market, in the field that you're in, whether it's real estate or selling mortgages or insurance or whatever, if people don't know you exist, they can't pay you. If people don't know that you're active in the marketplace, they cannot utilize your services. I don't care if you invented the next best thing since the wheel and the light bulb. doesn't matter. If you don't let them know you're there, and if you don't let them know that you're available to use, and if you don't constantly remind your audience, remind your clients, remind your referral partners that you are still there, then they're going to stop using you. Can you imagine if Coca-Cola stopped marketing? Now, everyone knows who Coca-Cola is. You might not drink it, you might not like it, but you know who they are. You know that their colors are red and white. You know that, you associate Santa Claus with them, and you have all these associations with that brand. And the reason I use Coca-Cola is because I used to be in the beverage business. I worked for Pepsi and 7-Up and RC, and the only one I didn't work for is Coke, but I use them because they are probably one of the top 3 global brands ever. I think it's them, Lego, and Lord knows all. Somebody else can answer that, but their brand recognition is enormous. But what if they stop putting up billboards? What if they stop doing commercials? What if they stop hanging banners out in front of new delis that said Coca-Cola and free pastrami sandwich today? If they stop doing that, guys, the market will forget about them. So if the market will forget about a global giant like Coca-Cola that we all have known since we were toddlers, and that seems like they're going to be in the market forever, if they stop marketing and the market will forget about them, what makes you think that if you stop marketing, or if you don't market yourself at all, what makes you think that the market's going to remember you? They won't. So understand that the reason that we're doing this, the intention behind what we're doing is we're using that intention to gain attention. It's a small little vowel change, but if Vanna White was here, she would agree that it's very important. Our intention is going to give us the attention that we need. Okay, so I want to talk very briefly, probably, about how you guys are attracting the business that you get now. And I want to kind of go through all the list of these things and see who agrees with me out there. So how are you attracting business now? Is it through Zillow? Zillow can work. I know a lot of agents that have used Zillow and loan officers that have used Zillow, and they've used it to their benefit. I know Zillow is expensive, and I think it's getting more expensive. Yeah, so, Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, Realtor.com, I know they all have programs to where we can market ourselves on there as realtors, and that's great, but it is expensive. Compare the expense of Zillow next to the expense of Facebook, and you'll see $1,200 a month, $1,400 a month maybe for Zillow. Maybe. I mean, I'm pulling numbers out of the sky, guys, but I bet you I'm close. And compare that against Facebook, which is free. It's free. Let's say that again. It's free. So just post intentionally on Facebook and see if you get the same results as $1,400, $1,500 a month that Zillow is giving you. And oh, by the way, those Zillow leads, you're not the only one that's getting them. They're sending them out to a lot of different agents and loan officers and all that kind of stuff. So, just kind of, let's just compare one to the other, and we'll see where we end up. Door knocking. Door knocking is kind of an old method of generating business in the real estate game, and I personally don't do it, never have done it, don't have any interest in doing it. When I walk into a furniture store and a salesman walks up to me, even before my eyes have adjusted to the lights inside the store, and they start asking me what I'm looking for and can they help me, I get offended. I don't like that. Let me walk in, let me look around a little bit, and if I need you, I'll come find you. To me, door knocking is an aggressive form of marketing. Okay, I do not like being marketed to aggressively, so I don't like to market aggressively. Okay, if you do, more power to you. That's great. I think door knocking is a numbers game. You might knock on 100 doors, you might talk to 50 people. 25 of them might slam the door in your face. The other 25 might be somewhat receptive. Cut that number in half down to 12, and maybe 12 will take your card. Maybe out of the 12, 6 will talk to their spouse about it. Maybe out of that 6, 3 might call you, and maybe out of that 3, 1 might actually convert into a sale. That's a sales funnel, right? It's kind of what we're doing on Facebook. It's kind of what we're going to talk about. It's a funnel. People, you're dumping in 100 people, and by the time it comes down to the bottom, it's 1, and it's a sale. Do you want to make your money like that? Yes or no? That's a tough buck to make if you ask me. So, Mailers are another way that you can generate business. If you were sending out a really good piece of mail back in 1999, 2000, 2001, and it had a really captivating offer and some really neat colors and some nice graphics, and it was professionally done, and you were landing in front of people that were, if some eyes saw it that were potentially looking to list with you or take you on as a buyer's agent, you could probably convert a good amount of business from that. People now take their mail and they might look to see if they have a credit card statement in there, maybe a bank statement, and all the rest of it, guys, they rip it up and they throw it away. Can you make money from mail? Absolutely. Can you generate business from it? Absolutely. What's the conversion rate? For every 1,000 pieces of mail you send, how many phone calls do you get? Rhetorical question. You tell me. Okay. Billboards. Billboards can be effective. They can be very effective for realtors. Also very expensive. So you got to weigh the cost against the return on investment. If a billboard costs you $2,000 a month to have up in a really high traffic area, are you going to generate a $2,000 plus paycheck from that every month in order to offset that cost and make it worth your while? I don't know the answer to that. If you've ran billboard ads, I'm more than curious to see if it's worked for you. And if it's worked for you, great. Keep doing it. Guys, what we're going to talk about, all this Facebook stuff, as much as I believe in this and as much as it's worked for me, if you have a method that's worked for you and has gotten you to this point now, great, keep doing it. I'm in no way, shape, or form telling anybody to stop doing what they're doing. This is a great add-on to your business. If you're not, I tell all the professionals that I talk to, if social media / Facebook is not giving you 50% of your leads in your business right now, you're not utilizing it the right way, because it should. 50% of your business, bare minimum, should come from Facebook. And we're going to talk about, hard stone numbers later. Public records. I know agents and loan officers that look at public records to see, if somebody is filed, if somebody's refinanced, if somebody has any kind of court thing going on that's going to cause them to sell. Deaths. I've seen people look at obituaries to see if old folks have passed away, and then they look up that person's name in the county's website to see if they've, if they're a homeowner. And then obviously typically the kids need to sell the house. I personally don't want to make my money like that, guys. I'm not looking down on anybody that has done it or is okay with doing it, just not my preferred method. Networking groups. I was in a BNI group for about 5 years, and I started the group, and I did get business from the group. I left the group when my son was first born, because life became a little bit too much. And I looked at my numbers, and this is a true story. You can ask my ex if you ever meet her. I looked at my numbers, and BNI, Business Networking International, at that time, BNI was probably 40% of my week, 40% of my work energy, 30%, 30 to 40, and it was 5% of my income. Those numbers don't make sense. Not for me, they didn't. Now, if you're in a BNI group or a similar type of group, Lions Club, Rotary, Chamber of Commerce, if that's working for you, keep doing it. Keep doing it. I encourage anything that works. Success leaves clues, and if it's working for you, keep doing it. But I just want to go through all the different ways that we do get business. How about good old-fashioned luck? You ever just sit back and stare at the phone and go, I wonder why nobody's calling? People know I'm a realtor. Why did they use so-and-so instead of me? And there's another really good rhetorical question for you guys. Who here knows, and who here has gone through this, who here has had a friend or a family member use a different agent to sell or find them a house? And you see pictures online of them holding up keys and shaking hands at the title company and all of that kind of stuff. How did that make you guys feel? Honest. How did it make you feel? I know when I've seen it in the past, and it's happened to me, and it happens to me still. Doesn't happen to me as much as I think it could, but it has happened to me. And when I see that, I think to myself, what made them go with that other agent instead of me? My ego jumps up real quick, and that ego is upset. That ego wants to know, hey, wait a minute. I could have provided a good service for that client too. Why did they go somewhere else? Odds are, guys, odds are that they went to somebody else because somebody else was telling them what they can do for them professionally. Odds are the squeaky wheel got the oil. Okay, so let's learn how to become a squeaky wheel, huh? Figuratively speaking. Okay, we talked about how we get business. We talked about how the public views Facebook. Now we're going to talk about how we view Facebook as intentionally posting individuals, trying to and intentionally gaining more business. Okay, so let's do that. So how we should view our own Facebook page. Number one, UTV. I'm going to talk about this a couple different times, guys, but this is the first time we're going to cover it here in this video. Your Facebook page is going to be your television network. Okay. Just like Channel 7, Channel 5, WGN, ABC, TNT, HBO, all of them, they all provide a series of different types of content: news, traffic, sports, sitcoms, reality shows, game shows. All these different things are designed to do one thing and one thing only: grab your attention. They want your eyeballs on them because they want to sell advertising to you in the form of sponsorship. All right, and this is the way that American media, I can't speak for outside the world or outside the United States, but this is the way that American media has operated for 150 years, going all the way back to newspapers when they were first invented and when they start becoming a regular part of people's everyday life. Back in the late 1800s, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But the idea is you get three different pieces of content from that provider. You might get some news, you might get some entertainment, you might get some inspiration, let's say, and then they give you a commercial. So keep that in mind. We're gonna dive real far into that, but I want you to look at your Facebook page now as your television network. Okay. So again, we're trying to shift the paradigm here. You got to change your mind in order to change your world. So start looking at that Facebook page a little bit differently. This is a place and an opportunity and a platform to position ourselves as the industry expert in our field. And there's a lot of different ways that we're going to do that. Okay, we don't just get in front of the camera on Facebook and say, "Hi, I'm a real estate agent and I can do a great job for you finding you a house." Nobody wants to hear that. Okay, that's a commercial. And people do not go on Facebook to hear commercials. And if they think that you're giving them a commercial, a sales pitch, they're going to get pissed, guys. It's not good. It's the same thing like if you bump into a high school friend at Mariano's. You're grocery shopping with your kids and your spouse, and you bump into that high school girlfriend or guy friend, whoever it is, and you start chatting them up, and oh my God, it's so nice to see you, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden they go, I got this great business opportunity. I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about it. And you instantly cringe. And you instantly get that, oh, good Lord, here we go. And you get that feeling of someone's trying to pitch me something. Nobody wants to be sold anything, guys. People want to have the information, make up their mind, and then they want to use you to close it. But nobody wants to be sold. And if you come off the wrong way on here, you're going to make a lot more enemies than friends. We're going to talk about how to do that the right way and how to present the information that you want to get across in a very non-confrontational way. All right, and this is going to be key because you can get out there and you can get too aggressive and you can turn a lot of people off. Remember where we're at. We're on a social networking site. We're not on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn and somebody's trying to recruit you, you don't get upset because it's a business platform. It's okay to be recruited on LinkedIn. It doesn't make you feel violated. But if somebody shoots you a text or a Facebook personal message, and they're trying to get you to buy their product or buy into their business, it's weird. We just don't feel comfortable with it as consumers, as Americans. But if it's our idea to use them as our realtor or our idea to use them to buy a car or a boat or whatever, now all of a sudden the walls are down. Okay. So next thing, it's a place to introduce your audience to your referral partners. This is huge. This is a great way on how to grow the different branches on your tree. All right. In the real estate business, our referral partners are attorneys, they are loan officers, banks, they are inspectors, they are moving companies, maybe. There's a lot of, we are the most sold industry on the planet because realtors are, guys, we are the closest thing to the thing that our clients want, which is the house. Nobody wants an appraisal, nobody wants an inspection, nobody wants a realtor, nobody wants a loan officer. Nobody wants you to be involved with the process. They want the house. They need you to get it. Okay, so let's turn all of our egos down for a second and understand our position. They want the house. They're using our services in order to get that house at the best possible terms and conditions that they can. So we are the closest thing to that dream home for them. And because of that, we bring a lot of referral partners in with us. So when it comes to referral partners, if you guys look on my Facebook page, if you friend request me, Robert J. Denton, you can see that I share videos from my referral partners. I have a credit repair friend of mine who always puts up videos and I share her stuff. I have a home inspection team that I always put up their videos and stuff. I'm always trying to get them more business because one of my favorite sayings and philosophies on business is in all boats rise in high tide. So if my referral partners are doing better, I am going to subsequently do better alongside of them. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's not just about you and what you could do and how much business you can get and how much influence you can have. You're trying to bring up your referral partners as well. So always keep that in mind. And we'll talk about some different strategies on how to do that. This is a big one, guys. Facebook is a farm. It's not a killing field. So you're going to start posting intentionally. And if 3 nights from now, if you're posting intentionally and you've put up 9 or 10 posts and you're doing the formula, which we're going to talk about, and you're not getting business from it, and you just throw your hands in the air and you're like, well, this doesn't work, another failed attempt at a new marketing strategy. I want you to understand that this is the type of thing to where people are using you to make the largest purchase that they will ever make in their lifetime. This is a big decision. It's a lot of trust they have to have in you. And it's not something people do every day. Guys, we're not selling flowers here. We're selling property. We're selling homes. If you have a client that you work with 3 times or more in a lifetime, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. So we have to understand that not everybody is going to be a customer or a client for us tomorrow. But it's our job as intentional posters, and it's our job as real estate professionals to constantly remind our audience in a very fun, nonchalant, non-confrontational way what we do for a living. It's my goal for you, and it should be your goal for yourself, that anytime somebody starts talking about real estate, you're the first name that pops up into their head because you've been talking about it online to them for the last year, for the last 6 years, for whatever. They might not use you today. They might not use you tomorrow. But if they're standing around the water cooler next week and somebody's talking about possibly selling their home, what you want is that member of your audience to say, I got the perfect person. They know so much about real estate. They talk about it. They obviously know what they're doing, and everybody trusts them. So keep that in mind. This is a farm. It's not a killing field. If you do not get business within the first couple of days of posting intentionally, it's okay. You're building the foundation. You're building the groundwork. It's going to happen. I promise you. And one more. This is my buddy Gold Member here. This is an absolute gold mine if it's used properly. Okay. I tell everybody that if you have an untapped resource with Facebook, i.e. if you have a ton of friends in your Facebook feed and you're not actively intentionally posting to them to generate more business for yourself, you are walking into a gold mine without the proper tools. If you arm yourself with the proper tools, there are gold veins inside that mine that will just baffle you. There is, I promise you, if you have 500 plus friends on your Facebook, which is a lot, If you have 500 plus friends, I promise you at least 5 of those within the last 6 months have bought or sold a property. I promise you. And if you comb through them, you'll see it. You'll see the evidence of it. You'll see people sharing their own Zillow link. You'll see people talking about, oh my God, I'm so nervous. This is, I don't know what to expect and all that. You'll see the evidence of people selling and buying property on there. So once you start posting intentionally to them, you're going to become that person that they're going to want to come to and talk to, because you're the only, you're in the, what's the old saying? I'm going to probably butcher this, but in desperate times, people will listen to any voice. That's where we're at, guys. You have to be that voice for them. And I want to talk briefly about the ethics behind what we're doing here. Understand that just because we're going to start posting intentionally on Facebook, it doesn't mean that we're underhanded. It doesn't mean that it's negative. Posting intentionally on Facebook is a very positive thing. You have a great service to provide your audience and your clients. And this is just a way for you to get introduced to them, for you to drop their walls so when they need you, they come and find you. And then you're off and you're doing your thing. You're representing them the best ethical way that you can. And you should be proud of that. And you should want to represent that client because you know that you could do it better than the person next to you. So we're going to talk a little bit more right now about the Facebook television network. So that's what your page is going to be now. It's going to be that TV network. So like we talked about before, on that television network, on UTV, which is your Facebook page, you're going to put news, sports, dramas, comedies, reality shows, talk shows, mini-series, and documentaries. What's missing from that, guys? What should we put inside of all of those? If the answer that you're coming up with is commercials, you're right. You need advertisements. You need things to promote yourself with. Now, TV calls them commercials, radio calls them commercials. I don't want you to necessarily call them commercials. These are going to be your post for yourself. So you're going to put, let's see here, hopefully you guys can see my mouse on the screen. You're going to put some news out there. Maybe you're going to share some local news that happened in your community. And then you might put a really funny comedy skit that you found on YouTube of something that you like. Oh yeah, and by the way, make sure this is all stuff that you like to do, that interests you. The worst thing to be on Facebook is disingenuine. People sniff that out so fast. We have a radar when it comes to smelling BS. And if you talk about things that you like, that genuinely interest you, you're going to be fine. If you start trying to be like the Joneses on Facebook and create this online persona that isn't you, guys, your audience knows you. They're going to sniff it out and they're going to think, ooh, we don't want nothing to do with that. So, but on this television network, you might put some news, you might put a comedy, you might put a talk show, you might put a little documentary piece, whatever. You put your content on there, and then you got to put your advertisement. You got to put your ask. So we're going to talk a little bit about, in our next slide, it's going to be laid out very simple, and it's what I like to call, there we go. Oh, I almost didn't put up these little animations. Yeah, this is, as far as TV goes, guys, this is obviously the Allstate guy, Mayhem, and this is my girlfriend, Flo, from Progressive. They represent very boring things. Insurance. Sorry if you're an insurance agent out there. It's boring. You have to have insurance, but nobody wants it. You know what I mean? But Mayhem and Flo have made insurance fun, and they've done it through TV. So you can make real estate fun too by doing it through your television network, which is your Facebook page. All right, so the exact formula on how all this works, and you probably have picked up on this already, is give, ask. It's a 3-to-1 / 4-to-1 ratio, and there's a little bit of play in there. But I want you guys to give content, and then ask something. I want you to give your audience value once, give them value twice, give them value 3 times, and then ask for something. Okay? Quick example of this is in the morning time, I like to post something inspirational. I don't do it every morning because I don't want people to think, oh, here we go with Happy Rob again with all of his how I should live my life quotes. I don't want to do that, but it helps me out as much as it helps my audience. I like seeing something inspirational, helps me get my day going. So I'll put up an inspirational quote in the morning. Later on in the afternoon, maybe, and I have an exact formula set up with this guy, so I don't want to quote my times exactly right now. But next, I might put something of value. I remember a couple of weeks ago there was like that lookup for TransUnion. If you were hacked, you could look up your information on TransUnion to see if you were getting a $250 check. I posted that link. A lot of people responded. I might put up something that's a funny video clip that I like, or of a cartoon character or a movie character that I like, i.e. The gold member, stuff like that. I think that kind of stuff is fun. So I'm giving, and then my ask is my quote unquote advertisement. But it's not a direct advertisement for my business. What I do, so there's two different ways we can say this. Number one, I can say, I'm a real estate agent, please come use me. I can help you find your first home, and it'll be your dream home. And people go, oh wow, Rob's trying to sell me something. That's great. Bye, Rob. Or I can say, hey, I just helped Sarah and Billy buy their first house, and I couldn't be more proud as to, you know, the look on their face and the joy and the gratitude that they felt and I felt for them. And it was one of the best experiences of my life, and I'm so happy I'm in the type of job where I can help people buy their first home. So just like Allstate and Progressive did with insurance, I did the exact same thing with real estate. I didn't get in front of the camera and give you a sales pitch. I told you a story on how I helped somebody else. And people have a funny way on attaching themselves to stories. When you tell a story, and if you're a good storyteller, and we'll learn more about that, if you're a good storyteller, people will automatically insert themselves into the characters of your story. And if you tell somebody that, you know, XYZ client was, you know, wasn't able to find a house in the area that they wanted with their old realtor, but they talked to you and you had some information on a different neighborhood or a different type of house that might suit them, and you were able to help them out, people will be turned on by that. People will be curious about that, and they'll want to come find you. So remember that. Be a storyteller, don't be an advertiser. People attach themselves to stories, and you could do that through video, you could do that through written posts, you could do that through pictures, you can do that through a lot of different things. That ask, your fourth post, that ask could be that ask could be, you're at Home Depot, guys, and you have two different pieces of floor, and you say, oh my God, this 6-inch wide oak is so different than this 8-inch wide walnut. Which one do you prefer? And you can just have people talk about flooring that day. What you're doing is you're reminding your audience that you're in the real estate business by simply asking them about a floor. You know, it's a way to market yourself without marketing yourself, if that makes sense. So I really wish we were live, guys, because I really get into the Q&A right here. Next, we're going to talk about, here is my schedule. So 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., give your inspirational post. Give number 2 from noon to 1:30. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to turn my phone all the way off, apparently. All right. Give number 2 between noon and 1:30. Something funny. Give them a meme. Give them a pic. Give them a video. Something like that. Okay. Keep it light. Give number 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Something to interact with. All right. We want to get people used to talking to us, and we want to talk back to them. So if you're out for a late lunch, early dinner, and you got a hot dog, take a picture of it, and instead of saying hot dogs, say, should I put ketchup or mustard on this hot dog? That post in the Chicagoland area gets a lot of interaction, as you could probably imagine. But you want to get people to interact with you because you want to get them used to talking to you, and you also want to build up your EdgeRank, which we're going to talk about in a later slide here. So just keep in mind that we want to invite interaction. We want to get that spotlight on us, not just on our ask post, but we want to get it on all of our posts. Okay. And now number 4, between 5:30 and 8 p.m. This is our quote unquote advertisement or ask for the day. Keep in mind, you can play with the times. It doesn't have to be exactly these times, but these are times that I have found that have been really helpful and really useful for me. That 7 to 9 a.m., that inspirational post, people are getting their day going. Between noon and 1:30, it's halfway through the day. You want to give these people that are at work something to kind of chuckle about. Between 3 and 4:30 p.m., this is typically towards the end of the day when people are shutting down their day, their work day. So, let's give them something to play with. Let's give them something to interact with. And then between 5:30 and 8, this is typically after they're home, they've eaten dinner, the kids are getting ready for bed, and now we're asking them something of them, or we're presenting something to them, or we're letting them know, hey, my referral partner's over here, and they might be able to help you out with whatever you're looking for. So this post, this page right here, what you're looking at, is the exact formula that I've used for the last 3 years, 4 years. I don't remember the exact day that I remember the exact day that I started this, but I don't remember the date. But this is what I've used, and this is what works. My own personal Facebook page has turned into what I like to call a Facebook water faucet. When my pipeline gets low, I go back to Facebook and I start posting intentionally, and I open up that valve and I start this, and within a couple of weeks my pipeline fills back up. That's no lie, and we're going to talk real numbers in a short amount of time here. So next is one of my most favorite gives for you guys of this whole talk. This is my most profitable post. How many times per week do you look at properties online? That's a Facebook post that I put out there about 3 different times. And that post alone has generated me over $30,000. Okay. What I do is I posted intentionally the day that I did this, gave them an inspirational quote, put out a funny video or meme or picture. I might just put something that I think about that day, something random. And then my ask for the day was, how many times a week do you look at properties online? And I put a picture of the Redfin logo, the Realtor.com logo, the Trulia logo, and the Zillow logo on my personal Facebook page. I'm not advertising for them, but pictures are ranked higher when it comes to EdgeRank, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But pictures get more attention than just words, okay? Video gets more attention than pictures, and so on and so on. Like I said, we'll get to that. But when I put this post out there, guys, I had just an onslaught of people commenting, oh, I look 3 times a week. I look every day when I'm at work. It's amazing what people do while they're at work online. It's crazy. I mean, if you have employees, I feel for you, because they're probably on their phones right now, not doing the job that you hired them to do. But anyway, so I put this out there and people started commenting immediately. Oh, I look a couple times a week. I look every day. I look every other day. My wife looks every day and she sends me listings, blah, blah, blah. So when these people started commenting, all I did was click on their name. They're all my Facebook friends. I'm connected with all of them. I have some sort of relationship with them. So I went in and I messaged them. I'm like, oh my God, are you in the market for a house? And then they respond back, yeah, as a matter of fact, we were thinking about moving out of the apartment we're in. Our lease is up in August, blah, blah, blah. Now you got them. You have the buy, you have the sell, you have the client. And all you did was say, how many times a week do you look at properties online? But you got them talking about it. You put them in the right mindset. And now you slide into their direct message and you just start chatting them up. Hey, what's going on? I didn't know you guys were in the market. How long have you been in the market for? Oh, what kind of house are you looking for? What area? Do you have a price range in mind? Have you been pre-approved? Before you know it, you have a qualified buyer going out that weekend to see houses with you off of a Facebook post like this. This post has made me over $30,000. I didn't spend a dime on it. I didn't run a targeted ad off my Facebook business page and only target people that Facebook thinks is going to buy within the next year. I didn't do any of that. This is me marketing to people that I already have some sort of existing relationship with and I'm Facebook friends with. It's that easy. My most profitable post right here. I have recycled this post a couple of times, and every time I've put it up, I've gotten business from it. This is like my little ace in the hole. If the pipeline's starting to dry up, I put this bad boy up there and the pipeline fills back up. It never ever fails. It's my old trusty one. Now, should you guys use this on day one? I wouldn't. I would save this for at least a couple of weeks down the road. Post intentionally for a while, and then put this bad boy out there and let me know. Please direct message me. Let me know. Show me your results. I want to see them. I want to see this work for other people too. I don't look at what I'm teaching here as creating any kind of competition for myself, guys, because my network is different than your network. So please go on out there and market your network the way that you can. And I'm going to market my network my way too. So let's move on here. We're going to dive a little bit further into EdgeRank. So EdgeRank is the secret sauce on how to translate intention into attention. We talked about that earlier. So let's go over the finer points here. Objects that have more weight, which means, let me backtrack a little bit. Something that I never knew about Facebook before I started doing this. Just because you're friends with somebody on Facebook doesn't automatically mean you're going to see everything that they post, and vice versa. Facebook has their own EdgeRank system or algorithm, whatever you want to call it, on who they show, whose posts and whose content they show to who else. So the more you interact with somebody, the more you're going to see their stuff. The more you comment on somebody's stuff and the more that you share their stuff, the more that you're going to see their stuff, and vice versa. So Facebook is a big, gigantic popularity contest. The more popular you are, the more that Facebook is going to put you out in front of anyone else in your audience. So in objects that have the most weight, so objects that, things on Facebook that are going to give you the most views, and Facebook is going to put you in front of more people, are number 1, video, okay? Number 2, photos. Number 3, links. And number 4, just status updates. Now, I want to update you guys on something. Links are something that I highly recommend you do not do. Do not post links on Facebook unless you absolutely have to, like a YouTube link or something like that. And here's why. Facebook is starting to change their algorithm because they don't want you to be inviting people to click off of Facebook to go somewhere else. Just like you, Facebook's business plan is to keep eyes and attention on themselves. So if you're trying to take eyes and attention off of Facebook, they don't like that. So just keep in mind, try to minimize the links. I know it's tough if you're trying to share videos. I've shared videos and gotten a lot of interaction with it too. But I know that they have steadily declined the link. You directing any kind of attention away from them, they frown upon it. Actions that have even more weight are shares, comments, likes, and clicks. This is the big stuff, guys. We want people to share our content. We want people to comment on it. We want them to like it. We want them to click on it. We really love it when they share your stuff. When somebody shares your stuff, Facebook says, this guy, this girl, is creating something so valuable that somebody else is willing to say the same thing that they are. Okay, so they're going to put a lot of weight on that. And if a lot of people share your post, Facebook is going to show your post to a lot more people. All right, so just understand that this is the algorithm. This is the basic setup of how Facebook works. It's a popularity contest, and we have to learn how to be the popular kid in class if we want to get the most business. So I want to talk to you guys briefly about, I'm sure you're wondering, does all of this really work? Will it work for you? That's the big thing. I've had a lot of people that have talked to me about this kind of stuff, and they're like, well, I just don't know if this will work for me. I don't have a lot of business. I don't have a lot of friends. All my friends are getting ready to retire, and they're not on Facebook or whatever. My 92-year-old grandmother is on Facebook. So what does that say? I have a fun little setup here with Cuba Gooding and Tom Cruise from Jerry Maguire, Show Me the Money. So let's talk about the actual numbers. What I'm about to show you guys is stuff that you could pull off the MLS yourself. And I also am going to show you a spreadsheet of my, in case you guys didn't know, I'm a real estate agent as well as a loan officer. So I'm going to show you the business that I have generated by doing exactly what I'm showing you guys how to do here on Facebook. So first off, since April of 2017 is when I became licensed. April 1st, as a matter of fact, April Fool's Day. I became licensed as a real estate agent with Charles Rutenberg Realty. I was never anywhere else as a realtor. I've been with Rutenberg since day one. So since that day, I have closed 32 transactions, real estate transactions. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that probably are rolling their eyes going, oh, wow, big deal. 32 in 2.5 years. If you couple that up with the 53, I believe it is, yes, the 53 transactions I've closed in the mortgage business since that same date, the numbers look pretty decent. So, guys, for obvious privacy reasons, I can't show you the borrower's name, but you can see all the other information here, loan amounts, stuff like that. So, my numbers since April 1st, 2017, since I became a licensed realtor, are 32 real estate transactions and 53 mortgage transactions. Average home sale price of $254,925. Average loan amount of $229,665. And that's an average of 3.15 closings per month. I want to talk for a second about what that number means. I cannot tell you what your goals are financially and professionally. I don't know. You might want to close 30 transactions a month. You might want to close one a month. You might be doing real estate part-time. You might be doing it full-time, and you're getting a little worried about where your next wave of generational clients are going to come from. It's something we always got to think about, being self-employed. How our bread is getting buttered today, but how is it going to happen 5 years from now? How are we setting up ourselves to be successful in the future? So, on an average sale price of, let's call it 200,000 at, 2.5% commission, we're talking a $5,000 commission check. Multiply that times 3, and we're talking what? Times 3.15, we're talking about 15.5, maybe 16,000 a month. Again, I don't know if that's gonna impact you, insanely or not. But I know that if I told you that this can get you an extra 2 deals a month, would you do it? Does it make sense to post intentionally on Facebook for an extra 2 deals a month at $5,000 per deal? I don't know. I know what my answer is. I know how my family is structured and how my bills are set up. I know what that money means to me. You have to answer that question for yourself. So my numbers, my Facebook leads compared to all of my business are 85%. So 85% of that money that you just saw, 85% of those closings have come from Facebook. I am not in any kind of networking groups anymore. I don't have referral partners that send me business on a regular basis. Some do, most don't. I might get a deal a year from a home inspector or an attorney or an insurance agent, but I don't get much. The business that I have is self-generated, mostly on Facebook, and 85% of anything is huge. This works for me. I can't tell you what works for you guys, but what I can tell you is what I've said before. If 50% of your business is not coming to you from an online source, from a social media aspect, you're not doing social media right, because it's a gold mine. It's out there. It's ready to be taken. All you have to do is go out there and grab it. All you have to do is gain the right tools, which you just have pretty much gotten, and get in there and start mining. So we're right on time here, guys. We're about coming up on an hour, so we're wrapping everything up. I want to come to my last page here. So I want to talk briefly about my Facebook Marketing Mastermind. Everything that I've given you, over this last hour and over the last 4 weeks, have been designed directly to get you posting intentionally and getting more business. So just like I taught here about give, ask, I've given you guys a couple of different things since we've started this video. I've given you my most profitable post. I've given you how to post intentionally, and I've given you all the different tools that it takes in order to get up on Facebook and become successful and become a person of influence in our field. So I've given you 3 things, more than 3 things, I feel. Guess what's coming? Here comes my ask. Okay. So hopefully at this point I've earned the right to solicit to you, because I've given you so much content. Just like my friend Gary Vaynerchuk says, You give, you give, you give, and then you earn the right to ask. So I feel like I've given you guys a ton of content, and now it's my turn to ask. So I have a thing that's called the Facebook Marketing Mastermind. And what this is, it's a Facebook page that I run. I'm the admin. I have some people that are working alongside me, but I run the whole thing. And this is what I like to call, it's a marketing mastermind, but it's a college level curriculum style course that's going to dive deep off into each aspect of what we just talked about. So we talked about all the different aspects of how to post, what to post, why we're posting it, what time to do. The marketing mastermind that I'm offering up to you guys is going to be in depth. It's going to be, we're going to basically draw out the roadmap for you guys day by day, week by week, in order on how to do all this stuff. My other give to you guys was the first week of that marketing mastermind. I'm going to give you guys for free. If you want, you don't have to, but if you want, you can sign up at the end of this course. I'll give you guys all my information where you can contact me directly. You could do it on Facebook if you want, but you'll get that first week for free. And that first week is double your friends list in 7 days. I will teach you guys exactly how to double your friends list. So if you guys have 215 friends, it's my goal to get you 430 friends in 7 days. And I will show you exactly how to do that for free in the video, in the curriculum. It's no problem. Just go on in there. Like I said, I will set you up. I will add you as a user in that Facebook page, and you have free reign to go in there and do whatever you need to do. So in the marketing mastermind, what I'm offering is one new learning unit per week. So like I said, week 1 is grow your friends list in 7 days. Double your friends list in 7 days, I'm sorry. Every week we're going to have a new learning unit. It's going to be homework, guys. Your feet are going to be held to the fire here a little bit. You're going to have a homework assignment every week on what to go out there and do with Facebook, with your potential audience. And I feel like the only way to really make people accountable is to give them a homework assignment. Give them specifically something to do. Because the last thing I want you guys to do in 6 weeks is tell me, oh my God, I'm not gaining any business from this. I want to be able to look at your status. I want to be able to go back and see your progress and see if you've been doing the homework, if you've been doing what's been assigned. So we're going to have one new learning unit per week. I'm going to give you guys a daily posting map. Your post will be outlined for you verbatim. Just copy and paste, plagiarize away. So I will show you what to post exactly every day. I want to let you guys know something. You are more than welcome to use the daily posting map every day. I don't want you to use it for long. And the reason why is, in the beginning, I want to get you used to how to post. I want to get you in the custom of posting the right way. And I want to kind of, just like training wheels, I want you guys to get your balance. I want you to get the rhythm of it. After that, I want you to go off and do whatever you do. I want you to put your voice on it, because my voice is different than yours. My audience is different than yours. I want you to learn about your audience. And we're going to dive into that inside of the marketing mastermind every day. We're going to do a Google Hangout per week. It'll be live. Questions and interactions are always welcome and encouraged. So every week we're going to set up a time in a day where I'm going to get on a webcam just like this. Everybody who's a member of the mastermind can log on, and we're going to talk about everybody's individual progress. We're going to go over, and guys, we can do screen share. I can go into your Facebook page, look at it, see what might be going right, what might be going wrong. I want to talk a little bit more about the mastermind aspect of this. If we have 15 people that are involved in this, and we're all sharing information, and hey, this worked for me, this didn't work for me. Hey guys, this is what's going on. We can learn from each other's mistakes and successes, which is huge, because if you only had to learn from your own mistakes, you got to screw everything up in life before you learn to do anything correctly. So the mastermind's main goal is we can all grow together. All of our boats are going to rise in this high tide. That's my main goal here. And a face-to-face live interaction every month. So if it's easier for you guys, we could do it via webcam. Works for me. We can also do it face-to-face. We can go meet up at a Starbucks. We can have a monthly party set up somewhere. I'm not quite sure if that's going to work for everybody. But I want to get in front of you guys. I want to talk to you guys and really dive into this whole thing. And and see what's working for you. And like I said, there's one thing to be said for doing stuff via the internet and like we're doing here as far as training. There's another thing to be said for doing it live. I would have to talk to Grant about possibly doing something maybe at the Ruttenberg office. I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I don't know if that's something that will be possible. But we will figure that out depending upon how many users we get into the marketing mastermind group. So I'm sure you're asking, well, you know, you've given me so much. What's this going to cost me to go further with this? All I'm asking for, guys, is $397 a month. And my first couple of weeks of posting intentional on Facebook, I got 3 new applications, loan applications, within the first couple of weeks. I mean, I learned how to do this, and my business quadrupled within a month. And that more than made up for the investment that I made when I first learned how to do this, and then I started tweaking it along the road, and I created what you guys find here. So just ask yourself a question. $397 a month, is that worth an extra deal a month? Is that worth an extra 2 deals a month? Is that worth an extra deal every 6 months? Yeah, I can't answer that for you. But I know the value and the content that will be given in that marketing mastermind is something where, you know, it's going to be valued triple what we're asking here from you. So if you are interested, I would love to have you guys in there. We work off of a billing cycle to where if you guys signed up for it today and 21 days later you think it's a bad move, you don't like it anymore, we can credit the prorated portion of the month back to you, and your usership would be ended at that point. But everybody gets the one week free. I want you guys to get in there and kind of get used to it and test it out a little bit. I would love for you guys to join the mastermind. I think we're going to do a lot of great things in there. And this is my passion. I really enjoy what I do here. I love real estate and I love marketing, and I love the feeling of introducing people to things that they didn't know that they could do. It's one of the happiest things that I can do for myself is helping people open up these windows to the world, to themselves. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys. We're right at about an hour. So this was, I wanted it to be an hour, and we got it out in an hour. We got out of here in an hour exactly. So I'm really happy about that. Please feel free to Facebook friend request me, Robert J. Denton. You can find me. I'm on there. I think right now my profile picture is a picture of me and Gary Vaynerchuk, which I was so stoked to meet him. I can tell you guys a story about it in person. It was a lot of fun. But the Facebook Marketing Mastermind, I have to actually add you. It's a private closed group. So if you search it, you're not going to find it. But I have to actually add you to that group physically. So just shoot me a message. Hit me with a friend request. Shoot me a message, and then I'll add you to the group. You can also become... you could also reach out to me via email, robdenton0907@gmail.com. Again, that's ROBDENTON 0907@gmail.com, or you can call or text me also, area code 708-785-1308. So I look forward to hearing from all you guys soon. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your week at whatever point you're watching this video, and I hope to work with you guys really soon. I'm really excited. I'll talk to you all soon. Thank you.